If you say that you're afraid of Trump and that's why you don't want the city to be a safe space for trans people, you better prepare for trans people to make this a very unsafe space.
We don't want to see her backslide into such a dark space.
Sarah Mosconis is concerned for her daughter's mental health. This week, her 13-year-old's hormone therapy appointment at Children's Wisconsin was canceled.
On Friday, we received a call from Children's Hospital of Wisconsin telling us that they were no longer able to treat my daughter due to the executive orders passed by the current administration.
Her daughter was scheduled to start estrogen on Monday to further delay her biological puberty.
She just said, I just don't want to grow a beard and I just don't want my voice to change. And we said to her, look, we're not going to let that happen to you.
Last week, President Donald Trump signed this executive order to protect children from chemical and surgical mutilation. It aims to cut federal funding for the, quote, so-called transition of a child from one sex to another for people 19 and under.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and back to a brand new video. Yes, my bed is a mess. Deal with it. And the tree is finally gone. Are you happy now? You've ruined me. Just joking, it was time for the trees to come down, alright? I admit it, it was time. So in today's video, we are going to be discussing Tim McBride. Yes, I'm calling Tim by their birth name because any person who targets children does not get my respect. Period. End of story.
The chair recognizes the gentleman from Delaware, Mr. McBride, for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
But for context, Tim now goes by Sarah McBride, who is a trans-identifying man who is a congressperson that was just elected for the state of Delaware. And of course, there was controversy with this person because they wanted to use the women's bathroom. And, you know, that was an issue because women want to be protected. Go figure. But this video isn't about that at all. In fact, I have a full video on that topic. If you guys want to watch it, I'll put it up here somewhere. You can watch that. But this video is about how Tim McBride is targeting children. And I just can't sit by and let that happen. As you saw from the intro, the trans-identifying movement, the mob, the mafia, is continually targeting children. Now, here's the thing about transness, right? I don't care what you do as an adult. If you want to change your gender, if you want to change your identity to a pencil, go right ahead. I don't care. When you start targeting children and you start using kids as a political gain for your own identity issues, we got a problem. We got a major problem. That is what's been happening for the past 4 or 5 years. It's actually what caused me to leave the left for good when I saw how they were targeting children with hormone therapies and changing their gender identity and confusing the hell out of these kids. It's what caused me to take a step back and say, I think I'm on the wrong side here. So I came across this video of Tim talking to children and reading them a story time. A story time of a trans child. Now, these kids can't be any older than, I want to say, 6 or 7. Anyway, I'm going to just play the video for you guys so you guys can watch it for yourselves and you can see why I was so enraged when I watched this video. Roll it.
I am going to read you I Am Jazz by Jessica Herthel and Jazz Jennings. I have a girl brain, but a boy body. This is called transgender. I was born this way. Then, one amazing day, everything changed. Mom and Dad took me to meet a new doctor who asked me lots and lots of questions. Afterward, the doctor spoke to my parents and I heard the word transgender for the very first time. Mom and Dad told me I could start wearing girl clothes to school and growing my hair long. They even let me change my name to Jazz. I don't mind being different. Different is special. But can I tell you what I like most about this book? I like most the story and the message because I want to tell you a little bit about myself. Is that okay? So, I'm like Jazz. When I was born, the doctors and my parents, they all thought that I was a boy. But why? Well, because society, people around them told them that was the case. But it took me getting a little bit older to be able to say that in my heart and in my mind, I knew I was really a girl. And I was very lucky, like Jazz, to have parents who loved me, and say that I can be whoever I want to be. So I was finally able to be myself.
I mean, first of all, I want to know what parent would allow their children to sit in a class with a trans-identifying man who make up less than 1% of the population, talking to their kids, confusing their children on what gender is. Because the way that Tim is talking to these kids, you would think that dysphoria is something that affects half the population. You would think, based on statistics, that at least half of those kids in that classroom were going to be trans. But if you look at the data, if you look at the numbers, the probability of one of those kids being trans is
very, very small.
See, but what happens is when you start interjecting these thoughts, these confusing thoughts to kids who don't understand what gender even is at that point in time, and you tell them you can be anything you want to be. When you tell kids that, they take it as, oh wow, I can just change who I want to be. See, kids don't have the capability of being able to process thought and understanding in an analytical way. So they're going to take what you say at face value. So if you tell them as an adult, oh, I actually changed my gender because I can do that. You can do that too. They then think they can do that. Do you not see how that's a problem? Do you not see how that can be confusing for a child and how a kid that age could think, oh, I must be trans, even when they're not? A girl that likes to play basketball at that age suddenly thinks, oh, I must be a boy. I mean, how do people not correlate those things and see how dangerous it is to interject this type of ideology to children, to kids, to babies? And parents signed off on this? Because I'm assuming in order for Tim to talk to these kids, the principal or the school administration would have had to inform the parents first, hey, we're going to have a discussion about gender ideology and we're going to be bringing in a biological male who identifies as a woman. Is that okay? Then again, in some states, you actually don't need to do that, like in California. Thankfully, here in Florida, there are laws against that. So parents have to know firsthand, and they must approve firsthand any types of discussions like this. So I don't know the context if the parents knew or not, but it just makes me sick that a school board would even allow this type of story time to be told to kids. All you're doing is confusing the F out of these kids. That's all you're gonna do. Now, like I said earlier, Tim is not allowed in the women's bathroom in Congress, which to me is a huge win. Now, I know some people will say, oh, it's one person. Why are we making this a big deal? We're acting like it's an influx of men going into the women's bathroom. What's the big deal? This is a distraction, blah, blah, blah. One man being allowed in the women's bathroom is one too many. Is that so hard for liberals to understand? But of course, the victimhood mentality says, oh, how dare they? Like this video from fellow trans-identifying man, Dylan Mulvaney, who did a video with Tim addressing this issue.
Are you kidding? That's unfair. She made those. I need to calm down. Everything's fine.
Amanda.
I'm an adult.
Let me hug you. You can't be in women's spaces any longer with the penis. How dare they?
2025, folks. 2025. And that video that I showed earlier in the intro of the mom who's upset because her son can't get estrogen and can't stop puberty from happening should be in jail, in my opinion. Any parent putting their child on puberty blocker should be in jail because that is abuse. You are actively helping to mutilate your child's body to change their chemical balance, which is irreversible. Despite what they say, it is not reversible. If a kid has been on hormone therapy from the ages of 8 to 13 and they decide at some point to get off of the therapy, their body is going to be changed forever because you decided as a parent to stop the natural process of biology in their body for an ideology, which is beyond abuse, in my opinion. So I am thankful for the president for putting children first and for assuring their safety despite what the left wants to preach. Take a look at this video, I believe in New Zealand, of natives addressing the trans community trying to target children. This is badass. Watch this. And by the way, they're sure to read Raising Fathers to Save Our Children.
Private event.
It's a ticketed event. You have tickets. Welcome to thank you.
We always came here on a peaceful protest. We came out to share what we believe society needs, which is the removal of craziness, the craziness of multiple genders. There is only two genders. There's no procreation without it. We came to talk about that, but we were actually greeted in the public square with hostility. A couple of our guys have bruises on his forehead, cuts on his arms. When I said to the police, who eventually turned up, that the rainbow community that talks about being inclusive and loving, the disgusting words, spitting, physically pushing and grabbing, handling us.
Can I join the crew? Can I join? Because I would love to be on the front lines doing that to those child predators all day long. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of this video. Do you think it is fair and okay for children to be taught gender ideology at such a young age? Is it confusing, or is it just the natural order of things now? Let me know your comments down below. If you enjoy my content, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit my notification bell so you know when I post a brand new video. Until next time, peace.